We start with the Hardys tied together, hanging upside down above a pit of fire. They start arguing over who's a better detective, because this is obviously the right time to have a petty fight.
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
Last week, the Hardys were given the mission of competing on a reality TV competition called Breakup. You have to do wild obstacle courses on their TV show. Several people were hurt, and someone even died. The plot sounds pretty similar to Bayport Buccaneers, but I think that's just a coincidence. The four suspects are the show producer, Linda Hunt, the stunt coordinator, Mike Wallaby, and the two champions, the Roberta twins. ATAC says they are suspects for reasons that will be explained in a later, more detailed briefing. I love that lazy excuse. We don't want to explain why they're suspects, we'll do it later. Mom wants the Hardys to bring Chet along with them for safety's sake. Mike gets aggressive about having Chet on set, so he is suspicious. Linda doesn't care about following the rules, so she's suspicious. Security guards catch the last suspect, a Bible thumper named Jacob Ginger. Jacob thinks that God will punish humans for television because it turns people into selfish jerks who will do anything for attention. If that's what he thinks about reality TV, just wait until he learns about YouTube. Brian Conrad is there. Brian Conrad is always there. He's competing with Belinda, who flirts with Frank. Frank gets tongue-tied, and Brian gets mad. The Roberta sisters are cold and arrogant, and the book clearly cares more about showing off their butts than anything else. Gross. A scaffolding collapses above them. Frank saves Chet and Joe. The Hardys fight over who is paying attention. I'm going to be on Frank's side in this case. Joe is clearly too busy hitting on the random hot girls to pay attention to anything. Frank and Chet go into the locker room where everyone puts on skin-tight clothes. Everyone but Chet, that is. Joe decides to chase after Linda because her hand is covered in grease. He sees her kick Jacob off the set, and he hacks her computer to learn the show is insured for huge amounts of money. Frank gets mad because Joe almost got them kicked off the show for missing the first event. The event is basically running in a giant hamster wheel. It starts spinning too fast, everyone gets hurt. Chet pulls the off switch, saving everyone's lives. Joe and Frank get into a big fight. They're about to punch each other out when the culprit electrocutes them both. We return to the start of the book, where the Hardys are dangling over a pit of fire. They're also wearing different clothes. That means the culprit stripped them out of their skin-tight outfits and put them into looser martial arts robes. It's creepy. The Hardys escape death by swinging back and forth on the chain until it comes loose. Frank starts accusing the various suspects, but he gets the mystery solution wrong every single time until Joe reveals Linda's the culprit. She's the only one with access to the fiery pit of death set. Everyone rushes to Linda's trailer to find she's been murdered. The epilogue sets up the big finale, and I'm going to go into more detail than necessary here, because otherwise I'm totally going to forget the story. A shadow corporation called Carpathian Investments set up a special life insurance on Linda. They decided to kill her and collect the money rather than let her go to jail. The company has the same fake phone number as the unknown criminal mastermind who killed Taylor and plotted a museum heist in the previous graphic novel. Now the Hardys have a fake address for the culprit. They're going to go visit River Heights, team up with Nancy Drew, and continue fighting a lot. The end. Post-book follow-up. The timing of Linda's murder doesn't quite work. In the first chapter, Linda taunts the Hardys by raising and lowering the chain. Why did she suddenly stop doing that in order to return to her trailer and get murdered? This was a good book. I liked it a little less than the last one because I don't like seeing Frank and Joe fight all the time. Having most of the book be a flashback worked okay, but it probably would have been just fine without that setup. Jacob was not a good fake-out suspect. He didn't appear much. I think he only shows up for 3 to 4 panels, so I would have given that time to Belinda. Have Belinda appear more. According to the artwork, Frank saves Belinda's life during the hamster wheel challenge, That's the nice little touch. Overall, it is a good book. I wish there was a third book in the series, instead of jumping over to Nancy Drew's series. Apparently, Nancy just broke up with her boyfriend after making out with a super hot vampire. So this is going to be a weird crossover, isn't it? I give Hardy Boys Undercover Brothers The New Case Files #2 Break Up an 8 out of 10.